The old border collie froze beside a blue lunchbox with a daisy sticker, while the treats right next to him might as well have disappeared in daylight. The garden volunteer thought it was lunch, so she moved the bowl closer, but his eyes stayed above the food, fixed on that sticker again that morning. She opened the box carefully. It was empty inside. No sandwich, no crumbs, nothing that explained why his whole body had stopped so completely beside the table. So she tried another blue tin from the supply crate. He glanced once, then lost interest before she moved the old box forward into his view again. When the daisy sticker faced away, his stare softened. When it faced him again, the stillness returned like someone had pressed pause at the table. Now the volunteer watched his eyes, not his mouth. The box slid across the table, and only his gaze moved while his body stayed still there. She cleared the treats, papers, and clipboard. The table stopped looking important, because the dog stepped closer only when the lunchbox stood alone beside it again. Then she carried the box to the second table. The treats stayed behind, but the old dog followed the daisy across the garden path, without looking back once. That made the food theory sound weaker, but the volunteer still looked for a simple answer in the event supplies spread around the table right there. The handle was worn smooth, the sticker faded at the edges, the kind of object that had lived through many ordinary mornings at this garden. One side of the box did nothing. The plain blue back faced him, and the old dog's eyes drifted away like the clue had simply disappeared. She lowered herself to his eye level and turned the box again, not watching the dog anymore, but watching what he watched, from that low angle beside it. Then she opened it one more time. Empty, the treats were gone from sight, yet the daisy side still made him freeze. The lunch answer fell apart right there. The old hook near the garden entrance had a worn mark beneath it, exactly where that lunchbox handle seemed to fit from an older morning routine. When she hung the box there, the dog waited below it, not excited, not restless, just fixed on the empty path beneath that old hook. The volunteer almost moved it for event bags, then stopped. Whatever this was, changing the hook felt like changing the question, so she left the old object hanging. So she angled the daisy toward the entrance. People passed in the background, but the dog ignored every face that went by without changing his position. A woman came through the gate and slowed when she saw the blue box. The dog noticed her, but looked at the daisy first, not her. The volunteer turned the sticker away, then back outward. That faded daisy, the same one from the first frame, changed him every time, not the food or the bowl. The woman knelt beside the lunchbox and touched the handle without covering the sticker. The old dog took 2 quiet steps toward her beside the hook. He did not jump, bark, or pull. He stood beside her while the volunteer set the unused treats back on the table like a solved question. And when they walked toward the garden path, the lunchbox stayed on the old hook, and the dog never looked back at lunch. The first frozen moment had its answer.